Welcome to Wentworth, the West Course, for the second day of the BMW PGA Championship, one of the great events on the European Tour. And it's been a lovely day. Quite a stiffish wind blowing at times, swirling about through the trees. And the play has been, well, not blisteringly brilliant. Some good stuff, not the easiest of days. That's the situation at the moment. Paul Casey has just gone to 8 under, had about a 10-footer for an eagle at the 12th, just missed, but he's now 2 shots ahead. Jimenez there, who the defending champion, was out this morning, and so it's all set fair as we go out and join live play. David Horsey, who was out first yesterday and led the way, and he is not going too badly today. I'm with Andrew Cotter, who's looking now at Paul Casey.
Well, Casey is going best of all, of course, on the 13th now. He's at 10 and 12. And he is in the zone.
I like his swing, and it's not a hurried swing, and the way he goes through the ball and holds the finish, almost as if sort of leaning into the shot. It's fascinating to watch. But when he's in full flow, it looks very impressive.
Now Anthony Wall up at the 16th. Beautiful touch on this short but spiteful par 4, 16th.
Back to the 13th. Ernie Els, who's 2 over. And he can't afford any mistakes, otherwise he will not be employed at the weekend. And that could be... no, that's tight up the left-hand side. Misses the bunker, but he'll have to play something rather special to get round the corner and over the trees.
Anders Hansen playing alongside Colin Montgomery and Paul McGinley, and watching Maureen Medill.
And Anders Hansen has just waited for the Casey group to tee off this 13th. He was a little bit fortunate with his second shot, just skirted past the tree line on the left-hand side, but it's got plenty of green to work with here. Should run out a little bit from his right to left on landing.
Yeah, it's not too shabby. Nicely done.
He said, "Don't shout at me. I know where I'm going. I've been here for years, long before you ever knew anything about golf, and I always go across here. This is one of my favourite sniffing areas." Colin, a little nudge up from the front of the 12th. Now that is doing nicely. Oh, yes.
Needs that, just 3-putted the last, and
they're circling this dog as if it's a lion. Come on.
I have biscuits.
Look, he's an old campaigner. Listen, I've been around a long time. I've always said that could be Fred Couples in another world. A nice, soft, gentle black Labrador. Just going across it. I'm not bothering anybody. Yeah, no, I know where I'm going.
It looked to be the 17th up on the 17th green. Horsey.
Oh, that's the worst putt he's hit today. He started off in blistering form with the putter. It looked as if he was feeling a bit shaky, but he holed several very nice putts in the first 5 or 6 holes. But that one was misdirected. But if he pops that in, no great damage done.
That was for an eagle, so still moved to 6 under par.
He looks a very good prospect to me, there's Mr. Horsey.
Well, so many others have come through the Challenge Tour like he has. He topped the Challenge Tour rankings, and you think of Stenson and Thomas Bjorn and Johan Edforth before, prospering and thriving in the Challenge Tour and then stepping up. Doesn't seem too scared of where he is.
Well, he learned a few medals in Walker Cup play, and that's why I'm interested in this new lad, Shane Lowry. If he's turned professional, how he goes. We've seen quite a few turn professional early and not succeed immediately. Justin Rose, I suppose, is the classic case there. But he went on to do good things, not quite as great as we'd hoped. But this lad Horsey, he can move ahead here with another birdie, creeping ever closer to Casey. 6 under. Good training for modern day golf. You get a couple of Walker Cups under your belt. Because everyone's in a hurry now and the inducements are so great. Don't become a male Michelle Wee.
Ben Curtis, who did things rather differently, exploded on the scene at St George's 6 years ago now. Third shot there, and now a very steady campaigner. Is he playing with Rory McIlroy, who's level par for the day, level par for the championship? Paul Casey on the 13th.
156 yards for Paul Casey, downwind off the left-hand side, just a nice 9-iron.
Oh, a nice 9-iron it is for Paul Casey. The roar will tell him he will not see that finish, but he will know, and he is striding clear at the top of the leaderboard. A very, very good round is becoming a great round. Championship, Paul Casey on the 13th.
Another look. 9 irons, a long way for an iron. Now gives it a real good old clip. He likes the look of it. Right on line. Now just watch where it pitches and just gobbles it up. He's not sure. Now the noise of the crowd getting more and more and more and more, and it's in.
Now 4 birdies and 2 eagles in his round. He also eagled the 4th. It's indecent.
Else, tight against the trees, getting over the corner, tried to seek out the flag. That's pretty good. He's tucked away behind the trees there on the right. And not the man he was a couple of years ago. Time marches on.
Hold still on the path, please.
And there's Hansen back at the 12th. Nice 4 for the Dane.
Local hero. Oh, that was a bit unfortunate. Forward spin instead of a bit of stop. See the wind getting up the flag there. Really blistering away.
It's interesting how some have their time and then their powers fade and pass to others. And now is Casey's moment.
Ross Fisher started today with a 7, which is a horrendous start, but he got out in 37. That was 2 over. He birdied the 12th. So he's fighting back. It's 1 over today, 4 under for the championship.
Now Monty needed that after his 3 putts at the 11th. Still got a glower or 2. I think he might be looking over. There's a leaderboard there, just seeing how far away people are getting. But back to 2 under.
Applause for Casey coming up to the 13th green. It's a beautifully struck shot.
This Candy Craig Connolly's got his putter out.
Nice little run of figures there.
The swing, the rhythm remains the same. So does the face.
to the 13th green. Only else. Now this is testing putt. These greens around this part of the course here, whether you're coming down the hill, across the slope, it seems ever changing. And you think, well, it can't change, but the greens, I don't know whether they settle over the years or it's almost as if there's some secret movement in them. You watch a putt for year after year and it always seems to be a little different. You don't see an awful lot of putts hold. There was a period here when, back in the old Match Play Championship, when I remember David Graham coming here, but he'd hold hundreds of putts. Bob Charles, but you don't see many long putts hold, or haven't done over the last 5 or 6 years. But these greens are going to be relaid, reshaped, a lot of them recontoured, starting next week. So when we next come back here, things could look rather different. Fisher now, 2 putts from here is never bad. Pace and swing, see that? He's just a little bit short of pace. Now he's left with a horrid left to right putt.
Son Kelson, second to the 15th. It's long par 4, but slight breeze behind today. Well, that's nestled down.
Else for a birdie. Par 4 for Else, who remains 1 over for today. 2 over for the championship. And that looks as if it might well be the qualifying score. 65 and ties go on for the final 36 holes. Might go to 3 over.
Fisher just birdied the 12th, as all 3 in this group did. Doesn't want to give it back immediately. Just looking at Paul Casey's figures, 7 under for his last 10 holes. Good putt. Demanded all his attention. He remains 1 over for his round, 3 under for the championship. But it's the Casey show at the moment.
Anthony Wall at the 17th. Over 600 yards now, this 17th. Is that going towards the out of bounds down the left? No, it's a good one. Going towards the bottom of the fairway. He might be far enough to see round the corner.
Everyone watching Monty.
You notice there's an amazing amount of bird song here. Our effects microphones can pick up loads of birds, and Maureen's probably captivated by the bird song.
Sorry. Is it us, is it?
Colin Montgomery just caught between clubs here. He's deciding between a 6 and a 7. And he's really played very well today. Not got much out of the course, just 1 lone birdie. 9 pars. But with 2 par 5s in this finishing stretch, he needs to do as yesterday and push on. Gone for the 6.
6 iron. Casey was 3 wood off the tee and 9 iron. That's the difference.
Oh, for Monk, that's a dreadful shot from Colin. There was a time he wouldn't have believed you could ever have hit a shot like that. It's 25 yards wide of the target with a 6-iron.
Horsey at the 18th. Down right off the tee. Just trying to get himself in a decent wedge yardage down the fairway there. Well, we'll keep you updated.
Hansen's second to the 13th. Colin Montgomery way on the right, nearly in the spectators up on the top right. He doesn't look best pleased with that either. That's the other side. Well, not bad. Was a little bit further away than else was moments ago.
Kelson looks like he's going to pop this one up in the air.
Looks as if he landed straight on the top of that marker coin of his playing companions. That was a most extraordinary shot.
That marker coin might have moved a little bit as well. Now you'd have to move it back.
Certainly gave it a shudder.
.180 yards today, the pin here on the 14th, straight downwind. Tough pin to get to because the flag is only 3 paces on the top of the step there, so hard to get it right. It's a 7-iron for Paul Casey here. If he lands on the top, there's a danger of just running through the back of the green, so a bit of fortune needed here on just where this pitch is and how it reacts.
See that lean forward following the flight of the ball. Not bad at all, just in the little sort of scoop, a little hollow at the back of the green. They're not applauding, so we know he's not actually on the green.
Well, I can certainly smell the fried onions down here on the 14th, but not taking away the concentration of these players down here. Still enough breeze to keep this interesting down here. It's straight behind on this 14th hole. But Ross Fisher's got his act together again after that terrible start. 7 at the first.
Doing a roaring trade.
7-iron also for Ross Fisher.
Very good crowds here today and yesterday. Record crowd yesterday, certainly over the last 5 years, 200 or 300 more than had ever been before, and they've seen some very interesting golf. But you see both of those just through the back of the green. An awkward spot with that ridge that runs across the middle of the screen.
Anthony Wall, one of the best long iron players on tour. Testing his abilities here. Oh, a twirl of the club. The sign of a happy golfer. Beautifully done.
That's a lovely hit, lovely strike.
Two good nudges there. You can tell it is slightly downwind. 610 yards driving an iron.
40th tee, Ernie Els. Come on round, it could end up very nice. Little bit of good fortune. Putt for a 2. Smoke signals coming from halfway down the fairway. The burgers are ready.
Well, it looked horrible when it went in, and it is horrible for Monty. You've got to think about the lip on the way back. Maybe aiming well right of the flag here. His second shot was bad. It deserved punishment, but that's a long way away.
Yeah, we just couldn't aim at the flag from where he was, and well, it was a very, very bad second shot now. Nelson for a par.
There's a putting grip for you there, Peter.
He's got the magic grip that I first saw Ian Marchbank, the then professional at the Glen Eagles Hotel, and Bernard Lang had copied it. Several other people covered it.
Here is David Horsey nearing the end of his round, and a very, very good round indeed. Started the day 5 under and has not backed off. Little bit unfortunate just to die on the fringe, but a birdie putt to come.
Back to the 13th. Montgomery, this monster putt for a par 4. Would easily take 3. And that's not too bad if it turns down and keeps going. Could be in. Oh, now we must see the wonderful set of Montgomery teeth. Come on, let's have a look. Come on, Colin, for goodness sake. It must be a beaming smile. Go on, Colin, go on. Oh, come on. Yeah, oh. Oh, well. Oh, well.
Anders Hansen have learned a little bit at the end of Montgomery's putt. He hasn't hit it at all. He's left himself a horrible putt. Onward they walk. They all funnel down the last few holes here, the narrow confines of the stretch down on the west course at Wentworth, and big crowds, but they seem even bigger coming down this stretch of holes.
Well, Hansen was just a little bit closer than Montgomery. This putt moves left to right, and speed is so important. If you get the speed wrong, you've got no chance. Well done. Awkward one.
Didn't want to end that good run. Birdied 8, 9, 11 and 12. Now David Horsey, Philip Parkin watching this young man come towards the end of his second round.
And this to finish in style for a birdie. Birdie's 17 as well.
That's very well done, though, for David Horsey. Hard act to follow at 67 in the first round, but very, very steady stuff, which tells you a lot about his temperament and his game.
Paul Casey now, the 14th. His second shot, just a little bit of upslope to contend with before he gets on the green. Up and on and down, and that's looking good. If it runs, it's not. Oi, 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 oi. Well.
Anthony Wall, after 2 glorious shots into this par 5 17th. Can he take advantage?
Good 4. He's continuing his good play. He's been around for a long time. You wonder why he hasn't done more.
Ernie Els for much needed 2. That's, goodness me, that wasn't even close. Right on the cut mark. at the moment. As we've been saying, it may push out to 3 over par, but Daniels will not want to take that chance and slip any further.
The last game went off at 3:30, so play will continue well into the evening. Casey, having left his first putt this far short. Now this is very missable. Gee. Well, he got a 2 at the last hole and a 4 there, so 6 for the 2 holes. I suppose you can't complain. It's gone 3-3. The pair's a little dint in the ground. Well, it leads by 3 at the moment, but there's a shot dropped. You wonder how important that's going to be come Sunday night. Casey, though, leads the way. David Horsey has just finished with a 71. He started off a bit shakily, but holds some nice putts. He's doing very well indeed to stay close to the top of the leaderboard. Martin Keimer, the white and black scores of the completed rounds. Ross Fisher started with a 7, but is fighting back. Ignacio Garrido from Spain, who won here a couple of years ago.
Back in the 14th tee, Anders Hansen. Oh, it sounded like a frustrated groan. Just on the front level. It'll roll back down a little bit.
Well, Montgomery is selecting the same club as Hansen. Hansen hit 6-iron, but it didn't sound as if he got all of it. Flag today up on the back tier, tucked over a little bit in the left-hand side, trying to tempt the players towards the bunkers. Downwind and uphill quite severely, so that's not an easy combination to judge.
Ken's Browns joined me in the box just in time to see Colin's tee shot.
In the upslopes, checks forward and very nicely done. Brad Marks nearly got a hole in one here this morning. It was an inch short, spot on line. Lovely car if you can find the cup. Nicely done, Colin.
Well, Paul McGinley could cheer himself up enormously with a hole-in-one here. Not been his day. 7 over par, but he's going for the car with a 6-iron.
Will it stay out? No. Down to the bottom level. And with the greens running as fast as they are, there's no pin down there. I have seen it down on the front little ledge, but it's such a small area and slopes a lot.
A little bit of cloud coming in at the moment, which is just cooling things off a little bit, but there doesn't look to be any threat of rain. Still very much shirt sleeve order.
18th and Anthony Wall going with a long iron to play, one of those sort of rescue-y type long irons for the corner of the dog leg. Par 5 this one. Means you won't reach the left-hand bunker, or you shouldn't. It is firming up, isn't it?
It is. I'm surprised, though, to see a player of his caliber taking an iron off the tee. I mean, one of the simplest shots for good players is the left to right shot with a driver. And that's all that's still the best shot here at the 18th. But so many players end up in the newish bunkers down the left-hand side. It puzzles me.
Peter Hansen just coming out of the light right-hand rough. Should get this to chase a little. Needs a good bounce. Where's this one going? Oh, up the left. Oh. Dear, dear Peter.
Oh, so there was some in that as well. Oh, lummy Charlie.
Where we see?
Ben Curtis. Extraordinary takeaway and swing direction in the backswing, but he's fired that down the right-hand side. It's going to be just off the fairway, or is it? Yes. Not bad. Luck of the draw, whether it's Tufty or not. That's how they stand, Casey. Well, he's up and down, in and out, eagles and 3 putts and all sorts of things. He leads by 3. Jimenez, the defending champion, out early. Thomas Aitken from South Africa, 67. Nobody's bettered 67 so far in the opening 2 days here at Wentworth.
Well, Hansen and McGinley have left themselves big swinging right to left putts from the front of this green. And McGinley there just eyeing up the putt and taking the strokes, trying to put some feel into this. Quite a step here in the green, so this takes a bit of a box.
Soren Kjeldsen at the 16th. Little floaty cut-up shot. And what a beauty, what a beauty. 3 under, 6 under today.
Over the last few years, Ken, we've seen more shots hold round the greens than ever we did 10, 15 years ago. I mean, the skill factor now, the judgment, so many of these players is quite remarkable. Time and time again we see chips and pitches hold. And the occasional long putt. No, that was a good effort, though.
I think these 60-degree wedges have given the players, particularly those high cut-up shots,
it's made it much easier.
And they sort of grind the soles off so that the sole doesn't bounce. Makes life a little easier, but still a tremendous amount of skill.
Just by him, that'd be great. Thank you.
Wind helping off the left at the 15th, 492 yards, a long par 4. L's in the bunker. Depends how close he is to the lip, but Casey 290 off the tee, probably a little 3-wood for him and a 200-yarder. I mean, these days a bit of breeze behind, probably only a 6-iron. Pin at the back of the green, got to feed it in from the right-hand side off the slope. And ideally you want it just a little left of the cup for the uphiller. Has he got a nice flat lie there, Paul? Looks okay.
Well, Ernie Els and Paul Casey both 200 yards away. Ernie's just thinking what he's going to do here. He's very, very close to the lip here. Don't think he can get enough. Paul Casey will be first to play. Straight in the middle of the fairway, just a fairway wood off the tee for Paul. Wind helping a little off the left-hand side as well, so a big high left to right 7-iron here for Paul. Nearly hold his 7-iron second shot to the 9th. Already hold a shot from the fairway. Watch for this one going close.
Could come round a little bit. No. Wrong side to be. Didn't mean to be up there, but that's left him a tricky one.
14th and Colin for a birdie 2. Nicely done. Nicely done. 3-time champion here, won 3 times in a row, the BMW PGA. Still haven't seen them teeth though, Peter.
There they are. If I can just finish with all 4s from here, I'll be okay.
Try and get a bit of faith.
Well, Anthony Wall took a sort of driving iron, I suppose the equivalent of the old 1 iron off the tee. And a good position. He's got a similar sort of thing. Shot the club for his second shot. Big fella. Simple swing.
Ah, yes. Start.
Tweaked it. Oh, hello. There we go. There. Yeah, see? It's the only way to get close. Said before, never complain until the ball stops.
You're a star.
It's about the 3rd one we've seen come off the pavilion so far today. You need to chip it in now just to finish a perfect day.
Hill's just splashed out of the bunker too close to the lip, so this is his 3rd.
Come left. Left.
Come on, keep coming. We only will have that for his par 4.
Oh, Master Fisher.
Well, Ross hit the driver off the tee here, 360 yards. He's just short of the yellow line, which would signify in the water hazard. But he's just outside, 150 yards to go, but he's got to pick this one up very, very quickly because of the bank in front of him. Downhill lie, awkward shot. Just got to try and land it on the front edge of the green.
Certainly for the yardage.
Well, in many ways, he's been very lucky, but as Paul Eales said, it's on the downslope. He could easily miscue it and thump it into that bank in front. He's 8 and 9 iron.
On line, it's fine. If it's, you know, if it's a.
But why he would take a driver and run the risk of going in the ditch when he hits it, I really don't know. That's just poor course management, really.
Yeah, if you hit him, that's not an issue. That's not going to fire anyway. Cutting it, no problem.
Well, he's not in the hazard. He can ground his club. How it stopped short of the little ditch, I don't know, but it's hanging over the edge.
Isn't it a delightfully crafted ditch? That's a real proper ditch.
It's been there a few years too. It
Yeah.
looks like a proper golfing ditch. Got to watch the ball, swing through, don't try and force it. Good. Hand and arm shot. Very good. Fisher started with a 7. That's very depressing at the opening hole. Recovered well.
A smallish figure of Soren Kelson on the 17th tee. And not too far now. Woo. There's a couple of cuts to semi, and that might just be short of the silver birch trees. .610 yards, not a bunker on this 17th. Out of bounds all the way down the left side. Fairway slopes hard from left to right, then the turn sharp left. And you hit your second shot over the crest of the hill, the green completely unsighted. You have to pick that big tall tree behind it, gives you a guide to where the middle of the green is. Get a good tee shot away with the firm fairways, you can just about reach it in 2.
To the 15th. Ross Fisher below us. He's got probably the easiest putt coming up the hill. The other two are all downhill, left to righters, right to lefters. Awkward.
Well, Ross played a great shot there, didn't he? Just running on from the front of the green. Now he's coming back up the green. Going to break from left to right. But again, just what a good performance this is from Ross after that start that he had. Always knocks your confidence. And of course, we remember a few years ago leading after 2 or 3 rounds, I think it was, and 84, 85 in the last round in front of your own members. Never great. You must have thought, oh dear, here we go again. Outside chance here. But this to get him back to level for his round today.
Just too wide. Idea was good.
I hope when they redo the greens they don't sort of change the whole character of them, because they're
yeah, I agree. They certainly don't want to be made like so many modern greens now, like the Himalayas, lightning fast and all sort of silly humps and bumps. Keep more or less the same contours. Paul Casey took 3 from the edge of the last green. This is coming down the hill. Very easy to run it 4 or 5 feet by. Anxious faces watching. Casey just tickles it down the hill. It's going to slow. Oh, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Oh, another whisker, and it was in. Three holes to go. And so much can happen over the last sort of 3/4 of a mile here.
Ben Curtis, a long eagle chance at the 17th, and one of the best on the greens in the world these days, and nicely judged. Open champion of 2003, played in his first major championship and won it. Royal St George is amazing.
Ernie Els for a par 4 at the 15th. Turn, turn, turn. Oh, too much. Swung right across the face of the hole. Ernie in trouble. Ernie in big trouble. 3 scores to finish with, to be absolutely cast iron safe.
Anthony Wall. How's this one lying, Phil?
Not a bad lie actually at all. It's very fast.
Rory McIlroy level par. Brushing this across the 17th. Good effort. Cut still at the moment would be 2 over par if things finish right now.
Ross Fisher for his Par at the 15th. Well done. An adventurous par 4.
th and Anthony Wall. Wriggles in the side door, good break off the hospitality, makes the most of it, gets down in 2. There's a look at his card, 71. Good finish, 4-4. So 6 under, only one player ahead of him at the moment.
And a great break for Anders Hansen here. He's got a clean lie, 4 iron.
No, it was always edging left, found the sand.
Rory for his birdie. Rory McIlroy just turned 20. Well done. Nicely done. A good 2-putt from long range. 1 under going up the last. Not sure his hair's not getting a little sort of bushier.
Montgomery, Hansen and McGinley. McGinley over on the right, looks to be, this is going to be his shot. Where is he, in the sand? He's over there a bit further right. There he is. Not in the sand. On the hard, standing alongside the path, and he's, well, I heard it. There she comes, just front middle, not bad. Now Montgomery.
Yeah.
Well, Montgomery wasn't able to attack from the position he found in the bunker, so this was a very sensible layup short of the ditch. Just over 170 yards to go. Hitting 8 iron here, trying to get it to release from the front of the green.
Good quality shot. Using the little left-right cut. Holding it into the slope. I was very disappointed to hear Bob Rosberg died a couple of weeks.
Bob died last week, yes. He was 82. Ben Curtis finishes off. Bob Rosberg, who worked for many years for ABC television. Of course, won the PGA Championship many moons ago. Lived in Palm Springs, a great character.
He was the first on-course golf commentator, really, Bob Rosberg.
And did it very well. Casey now, long iron, playing for position up the right half. So many find the bunkers up the left on this hole. And that's perfect.
When he hits it, he gives it a spank, doesn't he? It really comes out of the centre of the club. It's struck.
Yes, it's very impressive. Very impressive. He doesn't look, he doesn't tear into it. And there he is, leading by 3. Jimenez, Horsey and Hall. Sounds like a firm of lawyers. Jimenez, Horsey and Hall.
Eighteenth tee, and Ben Curtis just trying to cut one round the corner and overdoes it. Now you know you've got some trees in front of you between there and the green. Just depends on your lie whether you can cut one round.
We had a couple of 67s yesterday, and that's the best score again today. We had a couple of 67s, although Casey's got a chance maybe of at start finish he could post a good score, a low score.
Good steady round from Darren Clark, 71. Robert Dinwiddie, the course record holder, went round in 63 last year. He's going to be here for the weekend. 65 and ties make it, so at the moment it would be +2. So I think that's, at the moment, looking favourable, but things can change a little. Ernie 3 over.
Graham McDowell 3 over as well. Needs a birdie up the last. Cabrera, the Masters champion, not here. Goosen struggling. Henrik Stenson there played so brilliantly a week or two back. Paul McGinley. Quite a swing from top side. Not too hard, not too hard and too high. Clumsy, clumsy. Now a left to righter. Downhill coming back. That's what you don't need.
Charles Schwartzel, third shot to the 18th. If he's got a nice flat lie, relatively easy shot up the hill, and played it well. Must have found it in the upslope. Started the day at 4 under, Charles, and he's stayed that way, even par for the round, so that'll take him round in 71.
Fisher keeps finding trouble, hanging over the ditch at the last, but escaped with a par 4. Driven into the bunker up the right-hand side. Monty putts for a par at the 15th, drove in the bunker, here in 3.
Well, Bull's settled in a rake line, but he's a long way back in the bunker, so it's the contact. He knows he can get it up quick enough. It's making the right contact. Playing a little back off the back foot to make sure it's ball before sand. Oh, slipped. Foot seemed to slip and hit behind the ball.
Anders Hansen, he hits it to her. It's all getting a little bit clumsy at the moment and untidy. Bit of tired golf creeping in.
Paul Casey. Look at the loft on that. That's a 60-degree wedge. Zipped it away. Is he admiring it? Not too much check on it. Just have to come across a corner of a little cape that cuts into the green, and all just nipped into the upslope.
.113 yards for Ernie to go. Just a sand wedge. Actually a tight back right-hand pin here. Not a lot of room right or beyond it. Looking to get the right distance here, and he can get a lot of spin from the fairway. Beautifully presented again, as always, here on the West Course. Ernie needs to get this one dancing around the hole. Needs a birdie at least one on these last 3 holes.
Well, from that range, when you need a birdie, not one of his best.
Third shot for Kelson at the 17th. Steady. Just keep moving, just all downhill from there.
15th and Monty for a bogey, and he's scraped it in. Errant tee shot.
To the 18th, Charles Schwartzel. This to get to 5 under, just a little bit from left. Not quite as much as that, so only a par. Four under. Steady rather than scintillating.
Soren Kjeldsen to get to 7 under par. I misread it. Winner earlier in the year in the Andalusian Open, Seville. Very neat, tidy player, and a par there, so he goes to the last 6 under. Currently our leader at -9. Little flip over the bunker for Ross Fisher. A little ridge to come over, so you've got to nudge it in low and get it to run a little bit. Pop it up in the air and chases forward. Not bad from where he was.
Making hard work of these holes, though. Misdirected, slightly misdirected. Tee shots a misjudgment. Did it too far at the 15th, found the edge of the ditch. Andrew Cotter's rejoined us in the commentary box at a very exciting moment, Andrew.
Yes. Excitement is watching Graham McDowell's second shot to the 18th. This is a big moment for McDowell because the cut is just about right where he is. Needs maybe a birdie here. Now I may have more. Scan down the leaderboard at the moment. 65 and ties make the cut, and at the moment 72 players are on 2 over, so it is 2 over at the moment, the cut.
Plenty of interest in this match. All the photographers just on a worm's eye view of Ernie putting here. Over the slope. Little shoulder on the right hand side here, which should get this ball moving to the left.
If anyone should know this green, Ernie should, shouldn't he, Paul?
Yes, talking to Ernie, he's staying around to reshape these greens over the next week. New turf coming on.
And his house adjacent to this 16th hole. So he brings the dog for a walk.
Monty driver on 16th. And with him in a practice round, a long discussion about whether I should take driver here or 3-wood, and there's a ditch down there. You see the red stake. Oh dear.
Similar type of putt for Paul Casey, our leader.
Virtually the same line as Ernie's. Did he learn?
Very noticeable how well the ball is rolling on the green for Casey. When people are putting well, the ball rolls and doesn't bobble at all. It's almost like it's glued to the putting surface. Winner in Europe this year and on the PGA Tour in America, so full of confidence in the top 10 in the world now. Paul Casey leads by 3 at 9 under.
Casey playing alongside Fisher and Ernie Els. Very strange watching Ernie Els playing now, because ostensibly you look at his swing and it looks the same, but there's some finer detail. Not quite the putter he was, and hits more looser shots than he used to. This, though, a younger man on the rise, Ross Fisher, might be just waiting for some traffic to go over the road behind.
Tough green to read, this one, Ealsey.
It is, Ken, and this is a new bit of the green, back right hand side here. Both Ernie and Paul underread it. A slightly different angle for Ross, but this would be another good escape if he can pop this in for a par 4.
Rory McIlroy at the 18th, third to this par 5. Sign of a well-struck shot. Putting back up the slope.
18th tee. Soren Kjeldsen likes to draw the ball. This really requires a cut. So you see him slicing across it. And slightly overdoing it.
Ben Curtis. Also with his third into the final green. At the same distance away as McIlroy, but coming down the slope towards the hole.
Anders Hansen coming in from the perfect position on the right-hand side of this fairway. Just a good, strong wedge required from the Dane.
Awkward angle this though, Maureen.
It's always hard to get close to this hole, Ken, and it's an innocuous one on paper.
Does well, lands very softly again. A lot of players coming up short.
Big drive for Paul Casey, for anyone who stands in this tee, but he is the championship leader. Starts it out way right. And leaves it out way right.
If you're going to miss right, it's generally better than left. Left's out of bounds.
Well, 2 over would probably make the cut, so down in 2 from here, but do it instead. Look at it hobbling and jumping on the putting surface, but keeping its line. So McDowell will finish 2 over.
+71 blows, +2. 2 over par, 144, 146. That's virtually, well, it is stone cold certain to make the weekend. Ben Curtis, can he pour one in? Quick down the slow. No, pushed it.
Well, there's no burger van here on the 16th, but we do have some smoke. Collins' tee shot found the lateral water hazard on the left-hand side. He's taken a drop, and that was his third there that you just saw clattering into the trees some 50 yards ahead of him.
Oh dear. Monty unravelling at the 16th. Rory McIlroy to finish. Yes, nicely done. Rolled it in at pace. Nice finish. That's more like it. So Paul Casey still by 3 from that large group. Miguel Angel Jimenez much earlier with his 70. David Horsey doing well to follow up his 67. Soren Kjeldsen playing the last hole. And Anthony Wall there, a 71 for the man from Camberley. A little bit further down, Thomas Levy, group in 3 under. Anton Haig, a good return to form for him. He's played 14 events this season, missed the cut in 12 of them, which isn't ideal. And Rory McIlroy in that big name group now. Ross Fisher, Anders Hansen, Colin Montgomery, probably soon to depart that group. John Daly, a 71. Eagle at the 17th helped him to be here for the weekend and to provide us with many, many trouser memories to come.
4 players so far today have broken 70. 2 best scores are 67. Will it scamper coming out of the rough? It's trying its best. So have that for a bogey 5. Thomas Aitken 67, and Pablo Larrazabal also 67. A couple of 69s, Anton Haig and Pelle Edberg. They're the best scores of the day so far. Paul Casey 6 under for his round today.
Who's that, Richard?
Casey and Fisher heading down the 17th. Casey, I saw his drive going treeward on the right. And there, past diverge. Ross Fisher down the fairway.
Okay, Gates will have to move back. Okay.
Do we find out where Casey finished, Paul?
Yes, he's up against a tree, but he's got a line to chip out onto the fairway, but it's going to leave him a very, very long third shot in. But it is a clean lie. He can hit the ball, but unfortunately his follow through might just be a bit impaired, but he does have a gap through back onto the fairway.
Back to his problems in a moment. We saw the ball there. Anders Hansen at the 16th for his birdie.
Amazing. It's a shortish par 4. There's only been 12 birdies on it so far today. The 16th.
Well, Paul just gone down the fairway having a look at the line and where he wants to place this pitch shot out, the recovery out. Trying to move the crowd back so he can get a good look at it.
Well, this is where he's going to come, but not with this shot, that's for certain. So he wants to move the ball far enough up the fairway and back on the fairway to be able to reach for 3. It's not.
I'll do the pitches, guys.
Well, he's got a lot of club here. What's he going to do? I see what he's trying to do. Just going to try and miss that silver birch on the left. He's trying to wheedle it through a gap that Gandhi might have a problem with. This is a fairly ambitious effort coming here. The danger is catching not the tree next to him, but the one on the left. His endeavour to sort of cut it round the corner. Back foot. Got to watch your old wrist here as well. This club could get broken if he hits it really hard. Don't be too ambitious here, Paul. Anywhere on the fairway is a beauty.
Guys, I just tell you, I don't know if this club's going to hold up, so...
He's going to give it the full Monty here.
I'm not hitting it that hard, so it should be all right.
God, this is risky. This is dangerous. This has got to be pinpoint. No. Any sight of it, Paul?
Yeah, it just dropped down to the left in the semi-rough, some 20 yards in front of him, but he's clear of all the trees now, but won't be able to reach the green in 3.
So a good break for him.
Yes, it was.
It could have gone anywhere.
Travails of Monty at the 16th. This to drop just 1. A timid effort. A double bogey, and that's one of the major differences between new Monty and old Monty, that would not have hit that drive into that ditch in the 16th. He simply wouldn't have done it. 2 shots gone, and now Monty 3 over for his rounds. Bogey, double bogey, 15 and 16.
Yeah. 18 total.
Well, Paul Casey still 290 yards away. In the rough, not the best of lies, just an iron to knock it down the fairway. If he can get it chasing really hard, he could get it within maybe 30 or 40 yards of the green.
Setting up for a draw shot. Right to left. And okay.
And he said that the club might not stand up to it, might snap. There's a good impact in the tree, and that club will have suffered. Understand it's been bent. That club will be reshafted tonight. Even if it weren't bent, its sort of integrity would have been compromised, and it might snap on a later shot tomorrow sometime. Just break like that.
This looks to be sitting a bit nicer, Paul.
Lovely lie here for Ross. He's some 276 yards away. Nice angle and a little bit of a draw shape he's going to have to hit on this, but it's so important that it lands on the fairway and runs down the chute and onto the green. If he catches the rough either side, left or right, then he may not just work down onto the putting surface. Just a hybrid here.
Not a bad shot. Perhaps expected to come out a little bit hotter out of the rough. But plenty of landing area for his little chip.
Hold on. Thank you.
Well, it's what you'd call a worker, that one from Ernie.
Well, one thing's for certain, we've seen some a lot of struggling, particularly off the tee, from Colin Montgomery. And when he played in the Pro-Am on Wednesday, he never missed the fairway, drove beautifully. We'll see him at what he does at the 17th, but here's Kelson's 3rd shot to the 18th. And we're seeing quite a bit of tired, untidy golf at the moment. It's been a long day, but I don't know why. I don't think conditions have changed all that much. The wind may have freshened a little bit. Montgomery, well, very strange for him to drive it wilder, but that's been the case over the last couple of seasons, I'm afraid. This is McGinley, who's also having his trials and tribulations today. He's 9 over. He won't be here tomorrow.
It's 260 yards to clear the road here on the 17th. And most of these boys are pitching it out there in the 300-yard mark.
This one going a little bit to the right. No, it's not too bad at all. Just settled there. And McGinley was the halfway leader, runaway halfway leader in this championship last year. This season it's not been good. He's down about 170th in the world now.
125 yards back to this flag for Paul Casey, just in the semi-rough here. Nice lie. He's got to be careful that he doesn't pitch the ball too far up to this pin back left here. Often get the ball spinning on this back left-hand section of the green, so look for this to go in a touch lower and a couple of bounces before it grounds to a halt. This is Paul's 4th shot.
All slopes away, just off the back edge.
Søren Kjeldsen here is that grip. It was made famous by Langer, as Peter was saying. It slips by. I'll knock that in for a par. It'll still be a 69.
Now Montgomery, who's been troubled with this driver, used to be one of the best in the game, and this is not an easy tee shot. They like it, and so will he. If he could finish with a couple of 4s, that would smarten things up a bit. 2 5s here to finish with.
Up ahead, Ross Fisher.
Well, Ross has got a nice lie here. But the ball will run away from him left to right. It's a good strike.
Good results. Come on, break, 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 break. Lovely shots. Beautiful shot from Ross Fisher. Stone cold birdie. Kjeldsen finishes up. Par finish for the Danes, 69. Just that one blemish on the 15th.
There was a little pitch, all downhill. Usually plays these quite beautifully. Just nips it up. Yeah, good speed.
He needs that. 3 over at the moment. The cut still projected at 2 over. Hard to imagine the weekend here without Lee Westwood, 77-77, his highest 36-hole total in 6 years in the European Tour. Henrik Stenson had his problems yesterday, slightly better today, but he's not going to be here.
Just up against the fringe, which is always a little bit awkward. Down in 2 for a 6. Misdirected tee shot was the real cause of the bother. Drop shot. What a mixed bag he's had. He held a 9-iron shot. He 3-putted. He chipped in. All sorts of things have happened today, but he still leads by 2.
Big putt. Big putt for Ariels. Knock this one in, par the last, or perhaps even pick up another birdie. And he'll be here, but if he misses this and pars the last, he may well be heading on the very, very short journey home. It's very strange and sad watching players such as Ernie Els and Colin Montgomery. They were the 2 great rivals of the European Tour in the 90s in their US Open battles at Congressional and Oakmont, but shadows of their former selves. He needs a birdie at the last.
Henrik Stenson at the 18th. This is for a birdie. He's 4 over. Good effort, but not good enough. Funny game, isn't it? Played so brilliantly in Florida at Sawgrass, winning the US Players Championship, one of the great events on the calendar. Absolutely magical play. Not so over the last 2 days here.
Yes, he made the comparison to the tennis players who are specialists on grass and can't play on clay, or hard courts and can't play on clay, and he says this course just doesn't suit him. But
that was a good comparison, I felt.
272 yards left for Montgomery here on 17, and he can reach. If he lands it within 20 yards or so of the green, it'll get a fast chase down the hill.
On line, mushroom-shaped tree is the line, and that's down the right. Nestles, not good.
I talk about big players who to miss the cut. Well, Retiefhusen, if he's to have any chance, has to hold this. No chance. So Stenson, Retiefhusen, Lee Westwood, all missing the cut.
Big names.
Cabrera as well.
Cabrera, yes, absolutely. Robert Carlson. One under, he'll be here. Stenson 70, under par but not good enough after yesterday's 78.
This shot completely blind, of course, for the players, but a lot of tall trees at the back of the green, and they pick their tree out and just take a dead aim on that.
The big round top tree there, that's right dead center behind the green. So wherever you are, it's a great landmark. He doesn't like it either. Pushed it. That's not as bad as Montgomery's.
Well, the player's just looking to hit this around about 290 yards here to stay short of the bunkers. That would leave them 230 to the green, so no need for a driver here.
Overdone. Push it away into the quite heavy stuff. Here's the 18th lengthened, continually lengthened. I don't think they can squeeze another inch out of this one unless they move the green back, and they're not going to do that. Round she comes, rebunkered up by the green, which gives it an entirely different look. Grandstands, you can see left and right, and entirely different looking hole when everything is gone away, rather like going to St Andrews and looking out, and when the open's not there, it all looks empty and bare. Ernie Els needs a 3 to play the weekend. Needs to get a birdie, I should say. 3 over.
Just the fairway wood to stay short of the bunkers. Well, planned to perfection. Although it might be standing a little bit close to the sand.
I don't understand it. I don't understand why they're not taking a driver and going down the shaft and just tee it low, aim it at those folk down the left, hands forward, hit it, and you must go a skimmer left to right. It's the simplest shot for a good player to play in the book.
There's another man who hits a high draw, so he too with the fairway wood.
Massive arms for a smallish man. It really gives it a most wonderful clatter. That's going to hold on the fairway, yes, but not a million miles clear of the sand.
Look at El's stance there, is going to be compromised. No doubt about that.
It certainly looks like it.
Back to Monty. Lots of green to play with here. It did look to dig its heels, burrow into that rough. Up they come on, come on. That's well done.
Maureen, what's your feeling of it? Did Montgomery look a little deflated?
Oh, he is indeed, Peter. I mean, you can tell by the slump of the shoulders, but I can't help but feel that both he and Hansen were a bit fortunate there that they've allowed this rough on the right of 17 to grow so thick. Maybe I'm a bit of a sadist, but if I'd my way, I'd have all that shaved down.
Little bijou residence for $4.5 million. Well, it was. 27,500 now. Well, this looks a better lie, an easier lie, a lot of green to judge the roll, and it's fairly fast. Steady, steady. Clumsy. There's a Casey group coming up the final hole. Ernie Els, Ross Fisher, Paul Casey. Just look at that run, Casey from the 9th. Birdied the 9th, 2 at the 10th, par 3. then an ordinary 4, birdied the 12th, had a short putt there for an eagle, no more than 8 feet. Hold his second shot at the 13th. And he 3-putted the next. 6 at the 17th.
Now McGinley just wants to get off the course.
Well, there's 16 groups to complete the round after this group finishes. So it's a long day. Play started at 7 o'clock, 150 players. And that really is a full house. And starting at 7 o'clock in the morning is really very early, because you think of the people who have to be here before, getting the course ready. All the officials, and caddies. And it's not asking a lot to get up and have a gentle shave and a bit of breakfast before you go to work, but a lot of these players will be up at 5 o'clock. Days like that you wish you'd been a tennis player or a cricketer. Gentle time of 10:30 in the morning.
Snooker player, late nights.
Ah, well, yeah.
Hold still, please.
Ross Fisher's got a very heavy lie down the right-hand side here, just a 9-iron. If he can get it some 120 yards or so, he can get it onto the fairway and then pitch onto the green.
And he's got to skirt around the corner of those trees. He's going to land about here. 2 9-irons, that's or a good thump with a... You could do it with two 9-irons if he really catches it. We gave it everything. I mean, just over there, not bad. That loosened my underwear there. You're quite right, Ern. He's got an awkward one, Paul.
Yes, he has, Peter. Just going down the shaft a little bit, feet below the level of the ball, just a little fairway wood. 241 yards to go.
He needs a 4. Good bounce, come on. Should get down in 2 more from there. That'll should qualify him for the weekend. Had to play that, had to keep his balance there, did it very well.
.235 yards for Paul Casey, 3-iron here. Front right-hand pin location, but if he can just get this one onto the middle of the green, he should think of a 2-putt for a birdie. And what a great round of golf that would be. 3-iron for Paul.
Come on, win. Oh, come on, win.
Bunker. A delicate bunker shot too from there, Andrew, coming down the hill.
Yeah, it was much better to be in the sand than between those 2 bunkers, but not much green to play with there. Now Anders Hansen back at the 17th. Clumsy, heavy-handed chip. And an ugly putt.
Well, they've had an enjoyable day, I'm sure. The sun shone. Some good golf to watch. This is for a birdie 4 for Montgomery. Oh, he thought he'd missed it. Oh, Colin, are we going to have a little slide? Yeah, that's better. He thought they were sliding right. It went in.
He almost wanted to be upset there.
Well, he played with you in the Pro-Am on Wednesday. You said he was wonderful. He played beautifully.
He smiled all the way around. Different Monty. I think there's a Monty which is kept in the cupboard under the stairs, locked up at the moment, and it's bad Monty's come out.
Casey, there he is. He's our leader. That was a quick walk down the hill, and here's Monty smacking one. He should have the perfect shape Yeah, that's the way you do's it. Little slider. Good drive.
Hansen has enjoyed some good form this year, a winner already in Johannesburg, and of course winner of this title on 2 occasions. Aiming on the left-hand bunkers, which are some 300 yards out, ideally just trying to move the ball slightly left or right.
Down where Ross Fisher was, a little bit further back, and it's thick and tangly down there.
Ross Fisher, can he get it to grip coming out of the rough? Nay, sire. Very difficult to just get the right amount of spin on it, but he's on the putting surface.
McGinley. Drives at the 18th, but he'll already be thinking of next week and whether things will be better.
Now, Paul Casey, this is the one laid right open. Just splash it out onto the very edge of the putting surface. But beyond that, went further. Go, go, go. Didn't want to leave himself above the hole. Couldn't leave himself above the hole, really. So a 6-footer straight up the slope to complete a very, very good round.
Here they come, all shapes and sizes. It was a little bit heavy-handed from Paul Casey out of the sand. It was really a delicate shot, a slow shot. And I suppose he was a little anxious. Wanted to make sure it came out, but he's left himself certainly 7-8 feet up the hill for a birdie. Now Els has to get down in 2 from the front here to finish at 2 over for the championship. And that should make it okay for the weekend.
Right to left here for Ernie.
Didn't quite come as much as he thought there, but the pace was all important. Just almost a lag.
Well, that was very casual. I'm not so sure that he might think that that's not good enough. I don't know, but she just 2 birdies on 2 par 5s. That's very unlike Ernst.
Mark Warren, good week last week in Ireland. And right edge and drops 4 under. Inconsistent player, can be very, very good, and then goes missing for a while. But seems to be in form now.
Well, it's for a birdie 4 for Ross to be round in par for the day. Gentle left to right slope that he's facing all the way to the hole, but he is going down the hill as well, so he can't be too bold with this one. Outside birdie chance.
Cagey, cautionary one for Ross Fisher, but he started the day with a 7 at the par 4 first, so he's done reasonably well. Birdied the 2 par 5s on the back 9. '68 yesterday, 73 today for Ross Fisher, total +1. .7244 start. Local boy, knows the course well. Good fighting round today. Well, it's been quite a day for Casey, Paul.
Yeah, what a great round of golf it was until that 3-putt from the back edge of the 14th green just seemed to stall things, and then an errant drive on 16, but that's the negative. The rest of it virtually faultless from Paul Casey. Can he finish off with a birdie 4 here, going back up the hill, like Peter said? A bit of a clumsy bunker shot, but still got a chance for his 4 here.
Slightly disappointing finish. 6-5, but a good round of 67. Could have been a little bit better. Included 2 eagles, one at the 4th, and a brilliant approach to the 13th for an eagle 2. He leads in the clubhouse at 8 under par, 2 ahead of Jimenez, Horsey and Wall. 6-5 on the closing couple of holes for him is a disappointment for certain.
Well, certainly with his power, Ken. I mean, he just driving an iron, but wasn't able to do it. But he's still at the head of things as McGinley lines up his second shot, but he's 9 over. That just disappeared. Whether it clipped the tree and dropped down behind the hoarding there, I think it was most extraordinary when he clipped a branch and died.
Just crept past, might have snagged up in the rough just beyond that. Just hidden by the flag. Trying to the very last, but no, Monty.
Now, what's your betting? What's he got here, do you reckon?
2:26 left, Peter, and at his height, Monty was a peerless iron player, looking straight down the throat of this hole. Just having a last word with Jason there, his caddy, ascertaining that he has indeed got the right club.
It's a long way for it. Was it an iron of some? Was it one of these fluking irons? What is it, Maureen?
It's a 3-iron, Peter.
3-iron?
You'd have been playing a 5 in your day.
Well, he's a big boy, isn't he? Not in my day. Come on, Colin, let's see one of your fizzers. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He got through and out and... Oy vey.
He wouldn't have done that. He just would not do that. And he's top. That's like the shot he hit at the 13th, the second shot in, which was 20 yards wide.
And the tee shot at the 16th. I mean, he's just out of kilter altogether. And the swing looks the same, but it certainly doesn't produce the same results. Casey leads the way after that splendid 67. Well, it was an adventurous 67. Finished 6-5. He held a 9-iron shot. He chipped in, 3-putted. Something for everyone in his round. Some big name players are not going to be here for the final 36 holes. Rory McIlroy qualified nicely at the end of the day. 270 today. Lots of continental players have played, and congratulations to Olazabal, who yesterday was in all sorts of problems, and he fought back. Paul Broadhurst, like old Father Thames, he just keeps rolling along. 2 over, you see that's 57. It's 65 and ties. So on the next page you'll see where that ends. No, you won't. You'll have to wait. Ernie Els is 2 over. Masses of players at the moment at 2 over. They've all completed their rounds. Gary Lockers up. It could be a pretty big field for the final 36 holes. Retief Grissom, Ankel Cabrera, Richard Finch, Oliver Fisher, tournament winners there, Edblom, Johnson, Kenneth Ferry, 6-7 over. Paul McGinley 9 over. Oosthuizen, Lee Westwood. Shocking 2 days he's had, but Colin hoping for a pitch and a putt here at the final hole.
Monty's ball has just snuggled down a little bit in this right-hand semi. And this is going to be quite a fast pitch. He's got to pitch it just on the front edge, and it's pretty speedy from there on. One thing in his favour, however, is that he is into the breeze a little bit. That might just help him hold it up.
That's beautifully played. Well played, just the wrong side of the hole, if you're being extremely picky, but McGinley will waste little time.
Well, he's got nearer the green, and I thought I saw something drop 20 yards behind here, but he's faced with one of these awkward length shots, which he's played well, but no stop. Disappointing. I suppose when you watch professional players horse race, you always expect cricketers, batsmen to get at least 40 runs. You expect bowlers to take wickets. You expect racehorses to win. And when they don't quite fire on all cylinders, you go, where? Come on, come on. We're so keen for them to do well. But that's sport, cruelest business of all.
Back to Mark Warren on the 16th. An iron off the tee. Monty's former World Cup winning partner at Mission Hills in China a couple of years ago. That's straight into the sand. Iron off the tee, straight into the bunker.
Well, the familiar scenes of this final green at Wentworth, and this is a putt we've seen many times on the screen. Right to left, but fast.
Certainly didn't turn as much as he thought. A little bit of a hop. Anders Hansen. Ooh. Finished at the bottom of the cup, but 72.70. Good little run around the turn, but a couple of bogeys at the par fours, but steady stuff, 2 under. You kind of feel at this stage, just though you're trying and going through the motions, I'm just getting in the way. Sometimes you shut your eyes, you don't want to see this card. Not one of Paul's best. After 36 holes last year, he was a leader. He had a 66 and a 65, different story this year. Currently on +9. But he'll be back to fight another day.
And what about this one, Maureen? This surely a little bit from the left and a bit quick.
Yes, you would think so, Andrew. And, you know, it's been a bit of a mixed bag for Montgomery, but should he ease this one home, that'll be a round of 71 today. But he's been a little bit vulnerable on some of these.
Yeah, this can very easily slide right. Oh, it was on the way, but it didn't. Well done, Colin. Scrappy, but a 71. Actually, it doesn't look a bad finish apart from the 15th and the 16th, but they were a bit scrappy. But he's here for the weekend. Thank God that's over.
I've never seen him smile so much after a 73, but a birdie finish. It's just the tonic for Monty. That's good. Made cuts are not something that he usually celebrates, but small steps and perhaps get some confidence and momentum back. Paul Casey, 2 shots clear of that large group on 6 under par. Thomas Aitken and Ben Curtis a shot further back. But Paul Casey, after that 67, Gary Lineker has been talking to him.
Paul, well played. It was sort of lots of ups and downs today, I suppose.
Yeah, a bit. I feel a little bit like I did yesterday. I was sort of kind of happy, but not so much. You know, I battled the swing yesterday and felt like I could have been better. But 3 under was pretty good with the way I was hitting it. And then today, just kind of coasting along, and then all of a sudden it went bananas around the sort of beginning of the back 9 there, and then stumbled coming in. So I'm a bit confused. I'm not sure whether I should go to the range and hit golf balls or not. I do need to go and fix my 4-iron because I bent it around that tree on 17, so that's not too good. I
presume that won't be a problem. You carry a spare, don't you?
Actually, I don't. Not of that particular club. It's a special old shaft that I've got, so we're going to have to go find a new one. Maybe I'll go butcher one of my old set of golf clubs at home and quickly get them to patch it up for tomorrow morning. But it shouldn't be a problem. I actually wanted to hit 4-iron in on the last, funnily enough, and try to go with a soft 3-iron and knocked into the bunker there. So it is what it is. I'm glad it didn't snap and injure anybody in the crowd, which was good.
2 eagles, including holing your second at 13. Talk us through that one.
13 was, yeah, it was pretty cool. In between clubs, went with a cut 9-iron, about 163. I tried to play about a 145 shot. We had quite a bit of wind behind. Struck it really nicely and saw the soft bounce. I thought that's going to be good. That's going to be maybe just short of the hole. And I just saw it on the replay, just snuck in the right side, didn't it? So big bonus. My celebration was fairly subdued because I just kind of cruising around, but the crowd liked it behind the green, which was the main thing. And hopefully we can have a couple more of those as the weekend pans out.
Didn't finish that strongly, dropping a couple of shots over the closing holes. I'm sure you'd prefer to have distanced yourself from the field, but overall you must be happy with your position.
I think it's, you know, you can't win a golf tournament on a Friday. You can only lose it.
That's like a football cliche, taking each game as it comes. I've heard that one so many times. But you're in a great position for the weekends. What would be your mindset?
I think more of the same. Eliminate the errors. I mean, certainly I've played the last few holes, or I've left a few shots out there on the last few holes on Thursday, Friday. I'm hopefully playing with Miguel tomorrow, looking at the way it's structured on the leaderboard there. The man to beat. I mean, defending champion, great character. He's going to be passionate and making lots of birdies out there, but we're going to have a lot of fun, entertain this great crowd we've got out here. But I've got to knuckle down and eliminate the mistakes, because the good stuff's there. The eagles and the birdies are right there, but you know, there's a good field right behind me, chasing me. So I've got to keep my nose out in front if I can.
Yeah, you've won a big title here before. What is it about this place that brings out the best in you?
I don't know. I grew up very near to here and always used to sneak down and watch this championship when I was a kid. You know, the great players in the world, but certainly the great Europeans, Seve and all those guys. You know, dreamt of being here when I was a kid, and here I am. So it's very, very cool. Lots of friends and family this week come out to support me. You know, and this is our flagship event. I mean, BMW is a great sponsor, not only on the European Tour, but in the world of golf. So we're very, very lucky to have those guys supporting us this week. And I don't know, gets me going. I'd love to win. Marco standing right behind me, the guy who runs this thing. Maybe somebody will get a car this week if we win this thing. I don't know.
Okay, Paul, well, we wish you well. Have a good weekend.
Cheers. Thanks, mate.
All the best.
Well, that's it, the end of day 2, and Paul Casey leads the way. Still a few players to come in, of course, but it's been an interesting day. We've seen a bit of all sorts. Wonderful shots, a bit of good fortune here, bad luck there, a few missed putts. But that's the game of golf, and we'll be here tomorrow on BBC for about 4 hours, and I hope you'll join us and enjoy the golf here from Wentworth, one of the great old courses, the West Course at Wentworth, the Burma Road. Don't miss it. See you then.